All right, y'all.
Was it mostly black dancers?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well then, had to be Dollar Bills right down the street, down there on Wagner Ford Road. What was that on Wagner Ford Road before it was Players Club?
Vests, all type of shit, all the bouncers.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, man.
It was a different name before it was Players Club. What was the name of that club down there? What Dollar Bill at? The Gentleman's Club.
I can't tell you what.
It had to be there. It's the only place where it gets shot up at, and the niggas walk around with bulletproof vests on already and everything.
Yeah, they shut it but they shut it down.
That place got bodies.
That place still open?
Nah.
Oh yeah.
Tornado hit it.
Oh okay.
It's the only thing that stopped it.
Yeah. They took that money.
COVID couldn't stop that motherfucker.
Nah, man.
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot-Tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on Melch over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
You get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man. Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah! Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot-Tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on Melch over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
You get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man. Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah! Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot-Tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on Melch over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
You get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man. Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah! Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot-Tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on Melch over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
You get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man. Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah! Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot-Tronic heat press. using all the vinyl, making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up. I'm out your way.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little.
That's legendary.
Yeah. Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
Man, I don't even know. Yeah.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won it.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations.
That's legendary.
Dashes.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Peanut, aka Dash Resource. I got my man Stacking Smedro.
Smedro in the building, bro. You gonna get an irritated Smed today. You know why?
Why?
Because we've been trying to start this podcast at 6 o'clock, bro.
44 minutes.
We got a real king in the building. You
Oh,
feel
God.
me? You know, and time is money, man.
Yeah.
And I understand that, bro. But we've been trying to get some of this technical difficulty stuff out the way. But shit, it happens, man. You feel me? It happens to the best of them.
Yes.
And I am the best of them. And it
Let's
happened
go,
to me.
Smed.
Nah, you guys, man. Thank you guys for coming to the Legendary People podcast, man. As always, you guys, if you're watching on Facebook, we want you to go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe, ring the bell notification so you can get alerts every time we drop new content. We did go over 1,000 subscribers.
We did.
Man, we are real happy about that. That was definitely a goal, and we kicked down that milestone. So, man, thank you for everybody who subscribed. We looked at the analytics, and it's not just us, but for the most part, over half of the people who watch YouTube channels on a regular, they don't really subscribe.
Right.
But subscribing is free, and it helps out the people that you roll with to help them keep producing content.
Absolutely.
So make sure you go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's the Legendary People Podcast on YouTube. And on Facebook, we also are on Instagram and Twitter. So you guys follow us on all social media.
And Spotify.
Right. Spotify and Apple Music.
Yes.
Man. We got all type of little good stuff cooking up, man. We start off every show by giving a major shout out to all of our sponsors.
Absolutely.
Our sponsors definitely help this thing run. We want you to go to Shiekhs for breakfast. They got the best breakfast in the city.
Absolutely.
My personal favorite, as we all well know.
Turkey bacon.
It's turkey bacon, bro. With some good French toast.
For
Get you
sure.
some scrambled eggs. Bro, they got these potatoes.
Go get the champagne mimosa, man, while you down there,
potatoes is
man.
cut in triangles.
Yeah.
A little seasoning on them, bro, and then sprinkle a little sound. What I'm about to say might even sound a little different to you, bro, but they put a little fruit, strawberry on your plate, man. Get you going, man. Get you going in the right direction. It looks nice and it
Try the
tastes
mimosa
good,
while you're
man.
down there next time, man. Every time I go
Mimosa?
there- yeah, man.
Mimosas is kind of cool.
Yeah, bro. Like, they put the good champagne in there too. You know what I'm saying? Like none of that cheap shit.
Mimosas is good.
Yeah.
I had some, bro.
Yeah.
And they got mimosas at Chic. So, man, go
Absolutely.
through there and holler at my bros, man. I love them. And their food is actually good, man.
Oh, God.
You got my word for it. Go to Agnes All Natural Grill for
We ate
lunch.
that today.
We did have Agnes All Natural
good,
Grill
man.
delivered by my daughter, Taylor Smed. I love you, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking care of us, man.
Absolutely.
And Agnes All Natural Grill got the jerk chicken bowls, chicken, rice, cabbage. You feel me?
That jerk chicken was slapping.
Jerk chicken slap. Very, very good, man. Agnes All Natural Grill. They're not at the Dayton Mall. They are on the corner of 3rd and Wayne, right downtown, across from the library. So go and check out Agnes All Natural Grill. If you ever get injured in any type of way, go straight to the hospital and then call attorney Michael Wright at 937-222-7477. Make the right choice. Attorney Michael Wright. When you want to get drunk, and I do mean when you want to get bent like a damn. What's bent?
Like
What
Main
gets bent?
Street. You want to get bent like
You wanna
Main
get
Street.
bent like Main Street. Bent? What's really bent, y'all? Damn, I done fucked up something else on this side. Hey, if you want to get like literally bent, man, drink some of this Kiara
Like
wine.
Smith, he not gonna think out the table. He drunk. He been drinking that all
You
morning.
don't even need the Bill Cosby, or bro, when you got some of that Kiara wine, bro.
He gonna get us cancer. Look, I told you.
The Kiara wine is strong enough, bro. Alone,
Yeah.
you don't even gotta sprinkle me, man.
Oh my
You don't
God.
gotta sprinkle like E40, bro.
Wow.
Got Kiara wine.
Drink
Nah,
responsibly.
I'm just playing. I'm just
Yeah.
Man, the I'm just playing card is kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
you can say something a little offensive and then
I'm just playing. Yeah. Keep that card on you.
I'm just playing.
The
card.
first day you forget that card, Smith, that's your
Yeah, don't forget that I'm just playing.
Don't forget that I'm
card.
just playing card.
You guys, the shoparea.com.
Where?
The shoparea.com. The shoparea.com. The shoparea.com. It's like the baby Amazon.
That's a bar.
Whatever you need, bro, just go to the shoparea.com, type it on up in the search bar, and bang, bang, it's going to be right there for you. Actually, all deliveries are free from the shoparea.com. It's from the store
to your door and for.
from the store to your door and for the shoparea.com. Man, free deliveries to baby Amazon, a black queen on this company.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? And you want to go to Elon Musk? Dude, Elon Musk on Amazon?
You want to go to Scamazon?
They like, no. He
You
actually,
want to go to Scamazon?
no, he actually does it.
He
Big
does not.
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
It's big Jeff Bezos. All of them got rocket ships.
Right.
She ain't got no rocket ship
yet?
Get her a rocket ship. You
Yeah.
got him a rocket ship. Get her a rocket ship.
All right, Smith, you got to be stopped.
You over there turn. You guys, man, come and holler at us. We T-Shirt Kings, t-shirtkings247.com. Gold for your mouth, the number one gold teeth designers in the world. And Camera Kings Portrait Studios. Take some family pictures of you and your wife or even your side piece and come in here and take some
For
pictures,
sure.
man. We going to take them, snapping you up, getting
Nice
you
and
ready to go,
discreet.
man.
Get you right up out of here.
And last but not least, my bro like none other, Dash Resource.
Hey.
No S.
No S at the end.
Dash Resource, man. He teaches you how to make money, a big old bag by selling stocks.
Not dope,
Yes,
man.
sir. Sell stocks, not dope. Every Sunday at
8
this
o'clock.
channel right here at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, no doubt.
Word.
No doubt. All right, you guys, man, enough of these ads because we tired of this. Some of you guys that I did talk about ads for, you owe me a couple of dollars. So let's get that together real quick. Or this will
You can't be mad at the ads if you ain't paid your bill. Like,
Yeah,
man, the ads get
I'm
kind of
over here,
long.
and believe me, I'm working. Y'all hear them ads how I'm finessing through them, and I remember them all too. Okay.
All right, yeah.
All right, you guys.
Yeah, let's get to
Without
it.
further ado, my brother from another mother. God damn it, Peanut Johnson.
Kiara Wine, right? This.
Man, I'm drinking all show, bro. By the end of this show, bro, we gonna talk so much.
All right,
shit.
listen, man. Listen.
All right, Peanut
Listen,
Johnson, back
now,
to you, bro.
Now, listen, y'all. I have never lied to y'all when I say that every guest has cascaded the other guests in different ways, right? Yeah. But this right here is something legendary, man.
Real
Like, you know what I'm
clean,
saying? Like, they gotta put respect on our name after this. You know what I'm saying? You don't just meet an NFL champion every day.
Nah,
you know
you
what I'm
don't.
saying? You don't just run across one. You don't run across one of them, bro.
Yeah, bro.
We got my man PK Sims, bro. My bad. What's good?
Brody.
Brody.
Bro,
How you gonna go about it? Yeah, and shout out to the studio audience, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
my man, hold it down. That's good. So, here on the Legendary People podcast, we like to celebrate our legends by finding out the origins. So, without further ado, where'd you grow up?
Yeah, man, I grew up right outside of Atlanta. Born in Denver, Colorado. Moved out when I was like 4 or 5 years old. So just a Georgia boy by way of Rocky Mountains. They ended up here in good old DYT.
Word.
Still trying to get used to it.
So, let's get to the early years. Like, do you have any fond memories of growing up in Denver?
No, I don't remember Denver at all, man. Just grandma's house. Eating a whole bunch of graham crackers. you know, but
in Denver,
yeah.
BK?
She was old school Big Mama type. You know what I'm saying? So she would wake up 5 a.m, start cooking something, and then it would just roll into bedtime, and then you know what I'm saying, repeat. So no, it was cool, man. I had little boy memories, but it was nothing. Just cousins, stuff like that. Just chilling, normal family stuff, and then. Grandpa died when I was real young, and then it was just kind of time to move and start fresh. So that's what happened, man. My dad packed up, hit up Atlanta, and then about a month or two later, the whole family, went down, and that was history.
So like, what area in Atlanta? And I mean, like, be as specific as you can.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
like,
not Atlanta,
we're from Dayton, so
no. So like, if I'm in Ohio, it's Atlanta because I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's Gwinnett County. So Gwinnett County is you know what I'm talking about. It's a little north of Atlanta, like northeast, and so now to be real, it should be the capital of Georgia because Gwinnett took over Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother conversation. We'll get some of my Georgia boys down here and talk about it. But so Gwinnett.
So like, what were the kind of things were you into early, like around those first early stages?
Man, to be real, at first, like every kid, you start off just trying to gain knowledge, man. Like, and that's for real. I used to read as a little boy, music and reading, and then you figure out you put a ball in your hand and you get more love for scoring touchdowns than you do for playing the drums or you know what I'm saying, being in a book club. So just naturally, you know what I'm saying, like every little kid wants to learn. That's how we're wired. But once when I got that ball and figured out I could do some damage with it, that's everything to me.
So who all lived in that household when you grew up? Was it you, your mom?
Yeah, I had my uncle. He would my dad. One of his older brothers would tease us talking about we were the Cosbys because we were the only like black family he knew that really like stuck together. My parents, they trust me. We had our ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? They owned their own companies to make sure they could be around their kids. So we had hard times when they would lose some contracts with the cleaning. But it was dad, mom, my older sister, and then my little brother. Yeah.
So like y'all come from an athletic family. Like I mean, like your sister, of course. I mean, what was she played at Clemson?
Yeah,
your brother, of course, y'all was teammates. So like, what was it like growing up in a household full of everybody being athletically gifted in a way?
A lot of shit talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, from mom, dad, and let's just get this clear because everybody thinks that R.I.P. to Big Phil, going on 16 years, December 14th. And
that's
trust
Pops.
Me, that's Pops, yo.
That's Pops, man. Rest in peace, Pops.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Pops love.
He put that work in us, right? But mom, she was the one who was really the quiet killer. You know what I'm saying? She would just whisper something to you here and there.
Wow.
And she grew up from the hood. She was, you know what I'm saying? She was from a spot in Kansas City that nobody here wants to go to. You take the hardest cat from Dayton, you don't want to roll up to her neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So dad was a suburb dude who just acted tough. You know what I'm saying? But when you mix the two, so I just want to shout out my mom because I'm sure she'll hop on here.
Shout to Mama
she's
Love.
she's still going strong, but she's the one, man. She would come by and whisper something in our ear to make sure we got right. And it was just a lot of shit talking from Granny Goose all the way down to my little brother. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna compete over everything. Yeah.
So like, who are some of your early childhood friends that you had that like you can remember back in those days?
Yeah. Actually, my boy, he's still my boy to this day. We call him Big B, Bryant Harrison. He's from Dayton, and they left. His parents, I think, went to Dunbar. So they left. I met him in 3rd grade. To be real, man, I couldn't stand him. Wanted to put hands on him all the time, man. But
we all got them friends like that.
Yeah, but then we just grew for real to a true brotherhood. His dad passed away a few years back, so we have a lot of common bonds, you know what I'm saying? And but he loved to compete. My dad started a track team, and he was a bigger kid, so he was like shot put and stuff like that. But it was just one of those, just friendships that God or the universe, whatever you want to believe in, sent, and it grew into a brotherhood. So there's a lot of them, but he's the main one from the beginning, 3rd grade to right now. So shout out to to be. He's one of the lamest dudes you'll ever meet, but that's my boy. Nah, he's cool, man. He's
That's
cool,
love.
man. Yeah.
So, was there any other athletics that you would have been great at as well, other than football?
Yeah. So to be honest with you, I was way better at baseball.
Word.
Yeah, way better at baseball. I don't know how deep y'all want to go with this, but it's a thing. It's still happening now, especially in the 90s when I grew up. When you're the only black kid on these travel baseball teams, you start feeling lonely. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk the same. You don't share the same kind of stories. And there was one game, just to be real, a nigger was spray painted on a dugout. It wasn't towards me, you know what I'm saying, but it was on a dugout at one of the games. And no coaches said anything. They didn't stop the game and say, hey, we're not going to play this game until y'all whatever, or we're going to switch dugouts or something, you know what I'm saying? So as a little black kid, like 10 years old, I sat in this dugout for 7 innings, which is a long-ass time.
Oh, my God.
And just watch the kids laugh about it. And then that's when it finally hit me. I played like 3 more years, but that's when it hit me like, I want to play with my black friends, which are all football or basketball. We weren't allowed to hoop because that was my sister's one sport, and we didn't have enough money for all 3. So we had to pick our sports, and then that was the one sport because she was so much older. We had to travel to Clemson to watch her play in AAU.
Yeah.
So we couldn't hoop. So the only way I could get around my black friends was to play football. So to be honest with you, I probably would have had a 20-year career in baseball if it wasn't for that one moment. Which is
play for the Braves right now.
Probably so.
Look, bro. So you in Gwinnett County, was that mostly white or was it?
Yeah. So when I grew up, there was literally a railroad track that kind of split Gwinnett, like it used to do. A lot of towns or whatever, and my parents would purposely live on the white side because they wanted white families to know us more than just a black kid who showed up for sports, right? So we'd be in like a nice house and not have a lot of furniture or something like that because they were just stretching, making ends meet to make sure and give us that whole kind of like fake it till you make it, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that because it taught us how to handle that crowd, but we could also be around ours because you had to have that balance when you get into real life.
Definitely.
Trying to do business or whatever,
Absolutely.
you have to know how to turn it on and on, turn it off and on. So,
Mom and Pops wanted you guys to go to a good school too.
Yeah. So it wasn't about sports to them. It was just the sports was the avenue. So my brother and sister both had their masters. I'm getting kind of ahead of the story, and I never finished my degree, but it was because of a good cause. Leaving early to go provide. Which I went back a few years ago, knocked out a couple more hours or whatever. But so I grew up on the white side. And then I would only get to see my boys for sports. So it was important, you know what I'm saying? Football, that's how I kind of just gravitated towards. But if you call my mom right now and you tell me, about PK playing football, she's happy, but she would fall asleep at the games. And she didn't really care about that. But you say, tell me about PK playing baseball. And her face just like
lights up.
You know what I'm saying? She was like, it was just.
So were all your teammates white? When we had niggas spray paint?
Oh, yeah. Because once you hit all-star baseball, I was the only, you had your black kids on the team kind of like in the rec league part. And they'd be fast some, but, it's just a parent sign them up. But when you got to like the all-star, usually I was there was only one more kid, KD, I think every other year because he was older. So when I was on the bottom of the age group, he would be on there with me, but when I was on the top of the age group, I would be the only black kid, playing baseball.
Damn, I wonder.
And that still goes on today. A lot of people they'll see a game, and the dudes look like us, but they're from
Dominican and stuff like
right.
that.
And the reason that is because they can actually offer them less money because they don't. A black kid has to get the same money as a white kid because they're American.
Right.
So they go find somebody who's from the dirt of a different country. A lot of people don't realize that, and so they can actually lowball them earlier. And then they get away with it. So a lot of black kids, I think Deion Sanders will start posting some stuff trying to get attention for black baseball because he was a baseball player. So, but anyway, so So that, and then I was a track guy, and that goes hand in hand with football. So I was a 2-time state champ in the hurdles, 110, 300. Ran track my whole life. So I was all-state track runner of the year. Yeah. So I could have gone to college on track. Just a blessed athlete, that just one of those dudes who kind of do it all.
That is
real
cool, bro.
That's real cool.
So blessed for sure, man. First chair percussion all through middle school.
What?
Yeah. Drums?
Yeah.
What? Well, I can see you kind of hitting that. Yeah.
Any type of drum in particular?
So I had to play. I would mainly do snare, but I did the whole set, and then we'd play everything from the xylophones to the whatever they were called, those big drums. And we did like a Star Wars, boom, 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 all time. Yeah. So my mom, that was her rule, man. She was like, if you're gonna play sports,
you gotta pick up some music.
You gotta do music or art. So I ended up honors art, and just got into that. So just as they say, like a well-rounded. She just didn't want anybody to be able to attack us from any angle. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to do her best. My dad too, just to make sure that nobody could find a flaw, which everybody has flaws. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But she was just trying to minimize.
That is real cool.
So I wasn't honors and reading and books and stuff. I was more of just an artsy type person, yo. So man.
Word. So like transition from elementary to middle school, like what was that transition like for you? Like as far as you can remember, like you know what I'm saying, like, as a kid?
It was ironically we were just talking about my son today. Unfortunately, got his first real fight at school, man. It was
bro, he innocent.
Yeah. No, he actually the principal called.
Bro, I know he innocent.
I won't tell all the personal stuff, but the principal was I've never seen Trey act like that, blah, 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 blah. And then we found out, the kid was saying some crazy racist stuff, and Trey walked away. It lasted for a whole class period, and it rolled into another class, and Trey finally busted his ass up. But same kind of story with me. I grew up with some really good people. They were white, like I say. I was on the other side of the track. But then middle school was tough because you started seeing the separation, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it also made you better because it allowed you to adapt to some of the things you probably wouldn't have seen if you were in a more, black school. Mm-hmm. But, sometimes you just felt like you were on an island. Mm-hmm. But overall, man, my life was good. Middle school was cool.
What was the name of the middle school?
Pinckneyville Middle School, man. I don't know. It was named after some dude who conquered some shit in Georgia, I guess.
Conquered some niggas in Georgia.
So, then they named it after him. So, that was really, though, in a weird way, that's when I really realized, because I tried to write a book, and I had this girl helping me. She was a ghostwriter. And middle school is when I really figured out, in a good way, but how to manipulate all people with sports, right? Teachers, girls, everybody, because that's the age you really start. Like the blinders are coming off as a youth, and you're coming into a young man.
Yeah.
And I started realizing how powerful sports are.
Yeah.
And I just kind of used it. It was like a drug, man.
In what way, bro?
So number one, going back to being the only black kid, right? Mm-hmm. I saw because I was really good, I was the one getting invited to birthday parties. I was the one getting invited to sleepovers or something like that. Yeah. The white girls were talking to me, but they weren't talking to the homie. Yeah. Who wasn't balling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then the teachers would give you a little bit more leeway. And then I just started thinking damn, this is about to be really easy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My grades went from, all A's to B's and C's, because I just realized you don't even need all this school, which you do. But as a young kid, I was just I get through with sports. These B's. Right. Yeah. I'm going to run it. You know what I'm saying? But I really started, I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm just being real with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just started learning
that's right.
How to just manipulate, and saw how it could help me. I could see kind of if you keep doing this in the future, your life's going to be real easy compared to some of my other homies.
Is your brother is younger than you?
He's younger, 21 months younger,
21, so
yeah.
Y'all super close.
Oh, yeah. We grew up doing everything together, man. he wasn't a better athlete than me, but he was a better football player. He was way better. Just like Juju and Trey.
Yeah.
The younger brother always, if the older brother does it right, the baby's supposed to be better. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so my brother, man, he was bigger, stronger. He loved the contact. So yeah, I mean, he was a dog, man. He was knocking little kids out early. You know,
Did you guys play the same position?
We were running backs because, you know, little kid, you just toss the fast kid the ball. But then as we got older, he fell in love with quarterback. Okay. And he's real smart. He's probably the smartest out of all three. So he loved, I think, the cerebral side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like being a tactician and having
He got to control everything. He's to this day, he's still kind of like a control, not a freak, but he just wants everything his way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love him.
Little brother.
Little brother.
So that was his way.
I'm the baby brother.
Yeah, that was his way. And he was born way too ahead of his time. You know what I'm saying? If he had all this RPO, read option shit, dude, he would have been definitely top 2 draft, rounds, and been making millions. But it is what it is. You know, we're born, but players like him help change the game. And because when he came out, even though he got his scholarship to Florida State, the own town, when they picked like the best players in the town, they put him as an athlete, right? They didn't even give him the number 1 quarterback. It's always like the fast, athletic black kid who played quarterback was just an athlete.
Yeah.
Right? And nowadays, it's a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Man. But they didn't know how to use those kids, right? And so,
like they try to say Lamar Jackson is a running back.
Yeah.
Same type of shit.
Yeah. Right.
This mindset.
But when you know, for the guys who really understand football, when you have that quarterback who can run and pass, the numbers change on defense. It helps you, right? Because now, like, you had to have somebody who can run with the quarterback. So that means the linebacker has to be a smaller guy or somebody, right?
Right.
Which also helps. Now you just hand the ball off to the running back because you're dealing with a dude who's undersized. You know what I'm saying? But just the whole count changes, and people are just now really figuring out, how like a Braxton Miller type kid. Like, we don't even have to block the DN. We'll just go double the linebacker. The end's not messing with this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You give him a wiggle, you to the corner, right? And then when you add the throwing, you no longer have to sit in the pocket and throw it 60 yards, 40 yards. You can dink and dunk like Mahomes. He's struggling this year, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hit the little 15-yard crosses to a fast cat and you're out. But that all starts because the numbers change with a running quarterback. So, little bro is amazing. I feel bad for him for real, man, because they weren't messing with black dudes like that. 20
before
years
his time,
which is a shame.
It is crazy. If you get on YouTube and look up Lorne, Lorne, last name Sam, S-A-M, when he transferred to UTEP because Florida State lied to him, he got to college and they moved him to receiver, and he stuck out for like 3 years and then he dipped. And back then, for the people who are mad at the transfer portal, back then, the college had the right to block you from wherever you transferred. So they blocked him from ACC, SEC, and any teams we might play, and sent his ass way out west to some So that's, people don't understand how important that portal is nowadays. That kids can be at home because he didn't know anybody in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my sister had to move out there, and then my parents would go visit. So. But anyway, he got a chance to play quarterback at UTEP. So you guys YouTube him. He was a.
Man, shout out to little bro.
Shout out to little bro, man. Lauren.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like you kind of spoke on what we talk about a lot of time is when you go from middle school to high school, when you start, I mean, it's kind of when you start to feel yourself, kind of coming to your own. What would it like to become, like a man with, you know what I mean, like goals and aspiration of making it to the NFL?
So what's funny is, right now I'm, 6'4", 230, but 8th grade, I was 5'6", like 100 pounds, right? So when I was telling people I'm going to go to the league, like, it was a joke. You know, they're like, you're this tall, like, you're not going anywhere, you know what I'm saying? And my mom would always just kind of rub my back and be like, it's all right, baby, like, play the drums. Yeah. But that summer, I shot up to 6'1", and so that's when the dreams kind of like, you're like, oh, I'm getting bigger. But still, you realize how much further ahead varsity, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of kids don't realize. So, like, parents who get mad, especially in basketball, because, we're talking about the whole AAU scene. when people get mad that they're playing a kid got held back or something, he's a year older. Well, if you really want your kid to be a dog, in high school he has to play against kids who are 2-3 years old. It's not always going to be your same age group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why my little brother and little brothers are usually better. So anyway, when I got to high school, that's when I realized, though, I really had to work because you had been playing Norcross. That was my first high school. Yeah. And so you're always playing like your age and then maybe a scrimmage against like one age up for like 10 plays or something. But then I was like, damn, like these are 18-year-olds. I'm 14. You know what I'm saying? So I really just you got to start lifting weights, and it just makes you a tougher – you go from a boy to a young man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so then after that, I played a little
varsity your freshman year?
No, and I shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying?
He like, bro, like them grown men over there.
I shot up to 6'1", but the weight never caught up. So I look like
string bean.
Yeah, I look like one of these tripod things. Just you know what I'm saying? Just like with shoulder pads and a helmet on. But so yeah, no, I needed that year to grow, and then sophomore year I played varsity.
Were you a wide receiver then still? Or?
I was wide receiver. Once when I shot up, I played quarterback freshman year, and then I broke my wrist on a freak play on defense. They put me in real quick. And
on defense, one play.
Yeah, I played it. I don't remember playing more. It may have been 3, but it got down to the goal line, and they just needed somebody because I could tackle. You know what I'm saying? I played defense, but you never put your quarterback. So anyway, I still remember we were playing a school called Shiloh. They ran a toss sweep right. So I'm like safety or corner or something. And when I went to go tackle, the dude jumped. And so when you try to flip him, and when I fell back, I broke my wrist.
Ow.
Yeah.
So I couldn't throw anymore. And so a few weeks when I'm in like a soft cast, the coach was just kind of joking, like, you want to go catch a ball. They sent me in. This is the truest story. They sent me in. I ran a post and hit it for like 60. And they're like, dude,
stay there.
You're never playing quarterback again. It's over. So
my dad always told me, if you don't like doing something, do not be the best at it.
Yeah.
You don't want to do something, do not be the best at it.
So it worked out because looking back, I wasn't a great quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, whatever, 9th grade. But I wouldn't have made it. But yeah, man. So then my dad transferred us to Buford because Norcross, there was a lot of politics, a lot of kids with money. So dad would donate $50,000 for uniforms, and then his son's playing.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? They were like, no, go to Buford. It was this little country school, man, like 300, 400 kids in the whole school. I cried.
Let's spend a little time on your dad for a second.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're in sports.
Yeah.
And your brother, and you guys are at least above average.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
What type of father do you got, bro? Do you got a father who is overly critical of you? Is he yelling at you during the games? Or is he going off on the refs? Do he confront the coach? What type of father?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. The one thing I feel like I have failed as a dad is I'm a little harder in terms of like my language with my kids. But that's because, and I'll backtrack to your point, but because I've seen the league and how they talk to you, right?
Yeah, you got to get that armor on them.
Right. So that was the only negative with my dad. He was the most loving dude, right?
Yeah.
He's one of those people for real. Like when he died, it was like, no, he wasn't. Like he should live forever. He never cussed at us. He never yelled at us with sports. Right? Like he disciplined us, but like when it came to sports, dude, he was the most loving dude ever. You know what I'm saying? And
like,
so when I see some of these dads yanking kids up, that never happened. And he had 3 kids go D1, and he loved you to greatness. You know what I'm saying? Now, the coaches, if you were screwing us over, you're gonna get Big Phil on the sideline, right? But what he would tell us is, I don't mind looking like the ass to get you this shot. But that's it. I'm not telling him like he has to play more than once. Like, I'm gonna get you this shot. If you get in there and blow it, then that was on you. So he would always make sure we were ready. Before the ladders came out, we were running tires at the park, training, doing stuff, and everybody thought he was crazy. He was just ahead of his time, kind of with the whole training in the off season when a lot of kids weren't. You were just riding bikes, treehouse, whatever. And we were grinding. We would go up with a bucket of balls, hit baseballs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he was
active with you guys.
He was very active, and that's why they started their own company. They cleaned buildings, so they would work at night, so that they could sleep while we were at school. So when we got home, if there was a couple hours before practice or something, he could work with us.
Wow.
Yeah. So they changed their whole life, and
man, that's
it breaks
cool,
my heart
bro.
sometimes. Like when I hug my mom, or her hands are real rough because she worked so hard, right? Because she believed in his dream. And we were supposed to make it rich, you know what I'm saying? So like we made it, we got degrees and stuff, but that's why sometimes I still have a hard time because I know how much work they put in.
Yeah.
And when we got there, but we just couldn't quite finish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the best part of it. But no, my dad, man, he was kids were still, well, not kids anymore, but kids I grew up with, they'll still hit me up, and they're like, if I had a dad like you, I would have made it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just that one little chess piece that you weren't ready for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he saw it, and he moved this way, and they stayed that way.
Yeah.
And we're still going. You know what I'm saying? So no, he was a good. But so when we got to the league though, the shit some of these coaches would say, man, was so brutal that it pissed you off. And then so that's kind of like sometimes I wish he had been a little bit harder and let us see what like manhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we could have been callous by the time, we got
trying to
there.
put you through a little bit of a boot
Yeah.
camp,
But he was a
basic
good
training
dude,
for it.
man. He never yelled at my mom.
Yeah.
Dude, he was just like.
And he was, you know what, man? One thing that I peeped as for just me being a coach for the time that I was coaching. Man, I always coached according to my heart, bro, and not based off of some movie that I done seen how a coach is supposed to treat people, bro.
Right.
A lot of the name calling and degradation that goes on from coaching, bro, I think that's
ego
coming from a racist place when you're dealing with black athletes and white coaches and how they used to treat their slaves. And the reason why I'm saying this shit, and I know I might be a little off, but
I feel where you're going with it.
Well, I watched Mandingo with Ken Norton. Mm-hmm. And
a lot of those same practices. Like the slave auction.
It was you dumb,
Yeah,
you get out
yeah.
there and you this and that. Like, I got a lot out of my kids without any of that.
Yeah.
Your dad got a lot out of his
Yeah.
kids, far more than the average.
Yeah.
Right.
With just coaching really from his heart. Like, you see what I mean?
No, absolutely.
And so,
I mean,
it's almost like the world is so fucked up. Like, you got to be a cruel person just to make it in. Like, you damn near almost got to change the goodness about yourself in order for you to be able to
called skin in the game, man.
Yeah, it is, but I don't like that type of shit, man. Just because.
But it's not just to be fair to because we live out in the suburbs, right?
Yeah.
And when we took the kids to the city, we see that too with like city parents with their kids. They're really hard on them.
Oh, they definitely.
And it's so hard on them that like people forget, man. Like kids have anxiety just like adults. If you went to work every day and got fucking yelled at, you're not gonna perform because you're so scared to mess up, right? And so when Nicole coached, some of the dads yelled so much that she could tell when the kids were shutting down, and then she would look at me from across the gym.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to coach. We got people yelling, and then the kids shut down. She came and tell the kids what to do. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's a time and a place to jump somebody, right? But for the most part, you have to love them to success. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's just what I try to do. So I'm a little bit more rough on them. Mm-hmm. Like, man, what the fuck? You know, like, well, my dad would never say that. You know what I'm saying? But I just tell them because you're gonna hear that. If you do that and you got money on the line, they're gonna ask you, you know, what you're doing because you're their investment. You messing up. Mm-hmm. So the sooner you don't react to that, the better you are when you could just let it just roll off and get back to business. So
bro.
Man, shout out to Papa Love, man, for
shout
sure,
out to
man.
Pops all day, bro.
Yeah, man.
He's a good
So
dude.
like, what was that transition like from Norcross High School to Buford?
Yeah, no, that was the best thing that ever happened in my life. Buford, I love y'all.
What about location-wise? Is it?
It's still Gwinnett, but it was country, man. Like for real, it's not anymore. But it's so bad when we went out there. You know what I'm saying? And I think there was a Waffle House, a Kroger, maybe a Walmart, and they were starting to build a mall, right? But it was just for real farmers. You can see cows and shit when you go to school. One side of the stadium. But it was a different type of toughness because it was like a country toughness. You know what I'm saying? And it was such a small town. It just showed you weren't a number. You were like, and it held you accountable because it was such a small town. You messed up.
You'll see them at the Walmart,
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Buford, man. I love Buford. They really, they took me to that next level where I needed to get to. My sister teaches there now, so I appreciate y'all helping the family out.
Right.
Her paycheck. But no, Buford's amazing, man. Y'all need to look it up. They built like a $20 million gym for basketball. Like a, I don't know, $80 million school. They're building, from what I heard, it's going to be a dome football field in the next couple
wow.
years. So, yeah, they're rolling in money now just from growth and just, school is a business, man. So they're doing it right. But no, it's a really good place. Producing the best athletes, great students. So check it out when you go to Atlanta one time.
Speaking of the best athletes, you were one of those. You caught 39 passes, 1,067 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And you got 2 as of running them. So, like, what was the senior year like for you football-wise compared to your junior year prior at the other school?
Yeah.
Were you highlighted?
So, I had already got offers my junior year. I was at Buford junior year, but I only had 500 yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I had finally hit like 6'3". I was like a solid 6'3". But that senior year, I had like 185, 190. You know
yeah.
Like I had really turned into. So in high school, once you hit that 180 and up,
yeah,
like that's a big. It's not big like college way, but it's still a good size. But in high school, that's like a. And my cousin,
you like Megatron and them.
Yeah, in high school, my cousin, I named Juju after him, Julian. My cousin Julian, he just did 20-some years, got out. So shout out to him.
Shout out to him, man.
Shout out.
Welcome home, King.
And he would say, man, you were really like oddly strong to be so small. So
yeah.
when I got bigger, in high school I was benching over 300, right?
Yeah.
So like grabbing DBs and throwing them. When I played defense, grabbing. It was just like that perfect timing. So I was already getting offers, but then when I turned into like a man in high school, it was just like 39 catches for 1,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was so easy.
That's crazy, though.
Yeah, and so that's when my sister finally was like, you know what, man? When you were running around as a little kid, I just thought, oh, he's just a little kid, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, now you doing the same shit. It's high school, and that's when, like, the offers, people with jokes, I could close my eyes and throw a dart at a map and that, just go. So I could go anywhere. Literally, it was, what I'm saying, it was a blessing. But
what were some of the major?
Timing, man.
Okay.
My body just like changed, and everything clicked at once. Speed caught up, body caught up. So it was just meant to be.
What were some of the ones that you seriously like consider before you chose?
It was UGA.
Hit your mic, PK. Like it's a little cable right there at the end of your mic. Just push it up into the hole. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. That's
So I committed to Georgia first. I was committed to UGA for probably like 6 months, and then Clemson was one just because my sister hooped there. Florida State was like, they can get mad at me. I really don't care. I'm 40 years old now.
Yeah.
Florida State was like the hot girl at the club that you really knew you shouldn't mess with. You know what I'm saying? But you had to try it out just to like, so everybody be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You did that.
Yeah. Right.
But looking back, even though I love my time at Florida State and I don't regret it, but I kind of wish I had seen what Georgia would. Now that I understand college, let me put it this way. It's so hard for the out-of-state kid to go into a program and get the same love because the boosters have been watching those kids from high school.
Yes. It's
so
a hotbed for talent.
Yeah, so I was fighting to get to the same spot that other kids were almost just getting a handout. Coaches come to me like, hey, I need you to change your number to this for this recruit. No, I'm not doing that. But they would never ask me that at Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm an advocate for kids. Like, if you could stay home and go to school, do it. Because it also helps with boosters and jobs afterwards and all that. Because they've been following you since you were a little kid. You know what I'm saying? So I love Florida State, but UGA and Clemson were like the top two back then. And then Florida State, because they were so great, when they offered, you had to say, yeah, they had just been to 3 national championships.
Florida State was like
when I went, it was
top
top.
kings.
It was like if Alabama offered you right now, you almost feel pressure because you get to go be around the best. You know what I'm saying? But as you get older and you realize like that's not all it is.
Right.
There's an afterlife to it.
Yeah.
You start realizing you should try to stay home. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a competitor, you like to be around the best, and that's what Florida State was. And I don't regret it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So let's talk about AJC Super Southern Award.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know they still have those anymore.
The Atlanta Journal Constitution.
Yeah. I think that's when people realize like you could go, because there was no social media, there was no huddle where you could post your plays or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that's when, going back to my mom and dad, that's when people were like, oh, they did it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even though they were in this little country town, if you're a dog, and they're going to find you. You know what I'm saying? So once when it hit the AJC Super whatever, and I was on like another Florida one, top 150 or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's when people started realizing like, damn, this kid is really good. You know what I'm saying? Like, dad isn't crazy. He knew what he had. He just needed to get him in the right situation to showcase. So, but yeah, man, I mean, it's always cool back then when you open a paper and see yourself, because it's not overkill like right now where everything's retweeted.
Yeah.
Right.
You finally see your face in the newspaper. You're like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it was a good first, like, real big, I think, award that I had in high school.
What did that mean for your parents?
I think they could breathe a little easy, like, damn, we don't have to pay for college.
Right.
Like, even he, for sure sealed that deal up.
Right.
But I think it was just like, I'm a parent now. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
Okay,
so I got a 17-year-old, Jaden. He plays varsity for Ponus this year in basketball.
Yeah. So,
Jay Cutler.
No matter what your kid does, when they find their passion, you just want them to live that dream out. You know what I'm saying? And it might be a train wreck.
Yeah.
But you're not going to tell them that if they have some type of shot. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they just like way off, you're like, come on, guys. We need to refocus on something else. But I think my parents, they were just like, man, he had this dream. It's coming true. And, I think as a parent, you just really not living through them in a bad way, but you're just like
living vicariously.
Yeah, just the love. You're just like, man, he's really doing it, and so you feel proud too. It's your kid, like you created it, so
For sure.
It has a lot to do with you as well.
Right.
Did your parents, did they have a choice as far as where you wanted to go? I mean, did they want you to go to one school or another?
Yeah, at first they wanted me to go to Georgia.
Yeah, be right at home, come see you.
And I think that's because looking back, Georgia is about to offer some really good packages, you know what I'm saying, to get me to go there, which I won't say anything to get anybody in trouble. But
right. Well, not you. You never took, or nobody never gave.
Right.
But how real is pay to play in college?
So I will say this, because it was already investigated by the NCAA. When I got to Florida State, I stayed in the dorms my freshman year, half a sophomore, and my brother was there for his freshman. So the second half of sophomore, going into my junior year, all of a sudden my sister got offered to coach. So she was coaching at Florida State, women's basketball, and then me and my brother were playing.
Wow.
And we had this nice-ass house on the golf course in the same neighborhood as Bobby Bowden, right?
Yeah.
So you think college kids knows what's going on. I didn't really put all this together until I was older. And then when I committed or decided to leave, which is January, right? My draft party was in an apartment complex. So it was like, oh, he's gone. Y'all can no longer
live
have
in
this house.
Yeah.
And that's when I started rewinding life. And I remember when I committed to Georgia, all of a sudden, like, there was this big $300,000 houseboat. There was all this stuff. And my dad would just always be like, you like it? You like it? I'm like, yeah. Like, I was 17. Like, yeah, I like it. I'm like, it's a boat. But to their credit, they never pressured, because I'm sure they were going to get way more money looking back.
Yeah.
And I don't think we ever got money from Florida State. I really don't know that. And I never asked my mom just so I know.
It was like amenities more than anything.
Yeah, and so actually that brings up a good point, is that's why I tell people now, like, if you want my kids, you got to give us cash. You know what I'm saying? Because it's legal now, though, with the NIL. Like, you got to come with cash. I don't want these fake, that you can take back that didn't help changing by stars, right? Because $500,000 to $1 million, you invest that in 4 years when the kid's out of school.
Right.
Like, he doesn't even have to go pro.
Right.
Like, he could just start his own business. He has his degree.
Definitely.
So, yeah. So, it was just, they wanted me to go to Georgia, but they were happy that I chased my dream and went to Florida State.
So I mean, just to draw a parallel right there. So, like, how do you feel about like LeVar Ball and how he is with his sons?
Perfect. They're all rich.
Man.
And he didn't do anything wrong, right? He did what he had to do. And we won't even bring in race, but if you have a parent who wants their kid to be a doctor and they're moving them around and putting them in different schools to get educated to be in the medical field,
right,
everybody's cool with that, right?
Absolutely.
When he's trying to draw attention to his kids to get money that you can't get anywhere else when you are a poor black person, right? And he was right.
And he did.
He got 3 sons on NBA rosters.
He was right, man. That NBA money is different. Like, that just changed generations of their life. So they could be mad at him all he wants.
Yep.
If I could meet him, if he walked in right now, I'd probably give him a hug like he was my dad. Because I appreciate, because that's a sacrifice too.
What he did for the culture.
He could have been out golfing or at a bar or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I see that with parents. Like, we'll be in the gym, me and Nicole, because she taught the kids how to hoop.
Yeah.
And people will be at a bar. And then you wonder when our kids show up and they're better than, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a correlation. Like, the parent has just as much to do with the success of a kid as, like, the kids work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It takes the parent to grind it out too.
Right, man.
That's real, bro.
That is real.
Yeah.
So, your first year at Seminoles, right? What's the pecking order like when you first get there? Like, you come in as rookie, you come in red shirt, or is anything like that where, like, you are noticeably
you don't get any. You're a young freshman kid. There were some really good players there when I was there. Javon Walker ended up a Pro Bowler for Green Bay. Anquan Bolden, who's should be first ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion. And the other guys who didn't have necessarily a great career, but they were good. You know what I'm saying? It was just like me. You make it to the league, just something happened here and there.
Yeah.
You didn't, but you still made it. So everybody I played with got drafted. So you go from, people say, oh, the league is hard. The league wasn't hard physically, because if you're there, they know you could play, right? You're already a man.
Yeah.
It's the mental part. The hardest thing to do is go from high school when you're an 18-year-old hitting 15-year-olds to now being hit by like a 22-year-old man who might have kids. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And he's trying to get to the league because that's the only way he can provide for his family.
Right.
That was the hardest shit I've ever done.
Wow.
And when you see like the testosterone level, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I can't even explain it because you just had to be there. Like a football practice in high school compared to not just college, but you talking about Florida State at the time.
Gladiators.
The best of the best. And when you look at the D-line come up and the linebackers, and I'm like, I'm supposed to do what? With what? You know what I'm saying? So I remember Julius Peppers. We played North Carolina and I'm a freshman. I had to go crack the linebacker, and they actually stood him up, and he happened to be the linebacker count. And it's a true story, dude. It's on film. I ran in there,
Do it.
and as I started counting, I was like, I got hit. Man, I literally stopped.
Like
I was on ice like a hockey player.
you run up and like, nah.
I'm like, man, I'm not hitting that dude. Like, not for a 4-yard gain, and I'm out for the whole. I was like, and my coach was like, what the fuck? I was like, listen, man, you better send pull a guard or something to hit him.
Yeah.
But I had never seen somebody. What is he like 6'5" or something?
Oh my God.
255, like he was, and like I had never seen that, right? And then like even guys like Greg Jones on my team, 6'2", 245, playing halfback. It's just a whole different world. You know what I'm saying? So that was the hard part, getting your body physically right, and then mentally convincing yourself you could play at that level. Right? A lot of people stop just because their mental. They can't do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're tired of taking that hit. You're tired of the grind, waking up at 5:30, working out, going to class. And you just have to trick yourself, and it just shows who really wants it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the first year was brutal, but I played a lot.
Who took you under the wing out of those?
So that's the thing, man, is college is hard because everybody's fighting for that same slice of pie. So nobody's taking you under their wing.
Wow.
Nobody, especially back then. Like, you're a grown man. Right. Matter of fact, I came in there with I love Peter Ward. Everybody loved Peter Ward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had some Peter Ward pictures. I was gonna put them on my locker.
Get that mic one more time, bro. My bad.
So I was in. You hear me?
You lit. Yep.
So I was gonna put them in my locker like I did in high school. And
like, man, I was paying homage.
Man, they clown me, man. They're like, you don't take that, you take it down. And they weren't hating on Dub. They were just like, what the like.
You here to play football, not be a fan.
Then when you start noticing, like, yeah, Dub was great. I'm not taking anything. I got to finally meet him a few years back. Love Peter Ward. But if you go into those situations putting men on a pedestal, you're not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a man
you're
too.
You're better. You need to go in to try to destroy everything.
Absolutely.
He did.
So even though he went for however many yards, he was up for a Heisman, you gotta tell yourself, oh, he's not shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I could do it too.
Right.
And so it's just a mind game. You gotta play with yourself. So I guess in a way that was some advice, kind of like they took me under the wing. But in terms of somebody just being there, like, here you go. Maybe the one person I could say, a guy named Rob Morgan, we call him Rob J. He was from Atlanta. Mm-hmm. The main thing he told me was just like, because there's a difference between Atlanta dudes and Florida dudes. Mm-hmm. Florida dudes are wild, man. They talk a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of Georgia dudes, like in my area, we don't really talk that much. You know what I'm saying? So he was just like, keep your mouth shut. But Rod, like, he could fight. You know what I'm saying? So like, he was just like telling me, like, don't worry about him. He's just yapping, blah, blah, blah. But you had to get used to the custom, like the Florida custom, because it's a louder, fast pace. So he was like the one guy who was just trying to help me, like, don't mess with that dude. Like, he'll get you in trouble, blah, blah, blah. Shit like that. But it was nobody like, come on, PK, let's go work out. No, because they don't care, because you might take their money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, first year is first year. You get to see a lot of crazy stuff, though, like the girls in college.
Yeah.
And you like, yeah, mom said it'd be some wild, you know.
What one of them crazy experiences? Just one. Man. That one right there. The one you looking at right there, that one.
So this really didn't even have to do necessarily with a female, but this was like my junior year or something like that, because I had become like a star, right, on campus. A lot of rich white kids, they want to be. That's why I go back to how you can manipulate. So I'm at these frat parties and shit, and these kids are rich, and there's coke. You know what I'm saying? I had never seen lines of coke, and they're hitting it. But we're going to this bar, and the dude just pulls out a baggie, man, and just like. But that wasn't the craziest part. The crazy part was the girl who was in line turns around and goes, oh, come here, baby. And like, you know, like wipes his face off and makes sure. And I'm looking around like.
Couple goals.
He didn't even know her though. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was just so like out there, but it was so like private in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I had never seen it. Like, and just to see somebody just turn around and be like, oh, let me help you out. Right. So just like it was just wild like that. You know what I'm saying?
That is wild.
That's a cool
Some some frat had like a pet goat that would swim in their pool, so they would throw these parties and they would throw the goat in the like stuff like just dumb shit like that.
Why would they throw LeBron in the pool? You anything?
No, it was you know.
High school.
I'm married now, so some of the stories I just locked in a box.
Yeah, of course. Respectfully, of course. Go ahead.
Mom might be watching. She
Right.
won't hear that.
So, how are your grades that first year?
My grades were always around like a B. You know what I'm saying? If you go into college and fell out, you just weren't trying because they like. It is what it is,
Yeah,
right? You're the investment.
Sure
They're gonna make sure.
Yeah.
You gonna pass. You know what I'm saying? So. They were straight. It got harder when I started playing more, so you had to find a pretty girl or somebody who's gonna help you out. I would trade copying a test off of like a walk-on quarterback who just wanted reps.
Yeah.
I needed to run routes anyway, so I'd be like, well, you let me copy off you. Meet me at 10 o'clock. We'll go run some routes for a half hour. You know what I'm
Good
saying?
trade out, the barter system.
Yeah. So it goes back to what I said. Like I just figured out a way early to manipulate in a good way, never to hurt anybody, but it was just like, hey man, if you want to help me out, this is what it's gonna be. And so yeah, I mean, I was always eligible. It got scary one year because I was just wilding out. Finally had some fame. They're like, hey man, you better be on academic probation. You don't pass this test. And I was like, oh. So you talking about good karma? A girl, pretty girl, we're friends to this day. She was drunk on a curb, and I said, hey man, like. One thing I don't take advantage of, like, if you're drunk, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, we ain't doing none of that.
But I took her home, I gave her my ID, like, hey, I'm PK, I play, you know, blah, 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 I'll take you home. So I took her home, and then she ended up being in my class, and she let me copy off of her to pass the test.
What?
For the ball game. That's karma, man.
That's good karma right there. I gotta get love on that one.
That's story, man.
See that?
So that was cool. She helped me out.
I love this story.
That is a story.
But you know what about you, bro? Listen. I got an observation about you, bro. You say that you be doing some shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty like, goddamn, you cheated on the test. Right. But you say it in such a matter of fact.
Because everybody does it. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to the frats, the white frats, because that's where I was always around. They'll have just drawers of tests from different classes, right?
Yeah.
So when the next crew comes in, they already got the answers.
Oh,
yeah. So it's just a pipeline. Everybody, if you took whatever, 101, you put it in this file.
Yeah.
If you had this teacher, put it in that file.
Yeah.
Damn,
So when the kids,
and
then you wonder why they could get slapped drunk and still be having all A's.
Right.
Because they already got the answers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Bro, when you coming in, Bobby Bowden is the coach.
yeah.
And he is the one that won the national championships in the prior years.
Yeah.
What type of coach was he, bro?
So unfortunately, in my era, he had gotten old, right? So he
Yeah.
was more of a figurehead.
Right.
So I've had, unfortunately, this big argument with some of the old heads because I didn't like Bobby, right? I took Bobby. Old people start showing you who they are because they kind of revert back to kids.
Yeah.
And they're just
the older they
honest.
get. Yeah.
And he already had his money, and I respect him for what he built, that brand of Florida State, right? Because he did. When he got there, it was nothing. He built a brand. But you start just noticing that he would, like, everybody's being used, but I felt like he didn't even care anymore. He didn't know our names.
He was losing his fastball.
Yeah, he just like, we were just his pawns, right? And Florida State fans hate me for saying this because they can't fathom, like, this dude was really like that.
The myth from who he really was.
Right, and I tell people, I've talked to, like, Charlie Wars and other guys, and I say, you know what, well, in your era, because he was more new, he probably was different because he needed you.
Right.
By the time he got to us, he didn't need us. He was 72 years old. He was just collecting a check. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't take time out to know your name and blah, blah, blah.
Did he recruit you?
He recruited me, yeah. So he came to the school, like, you know, the whole school shut down when he showed up, and everybody's trying to get his autograph. And I went down and like sat in his office and decided to commit to come and all that. So I appreciate him for that, allowing me to chase my dream. But it's just kind of like when you keep your eyes open, like we were talking about before it all started, you start seeing the pattern. You know what I'm saying?
So what was he doing? Just calling y'all by numbers?
He just went. He would just like. He really wouldn't say anything. Like I never. That's what people don't believe. Like I think I talked to Bobby 3 times while I was there. Ever.
For your whole spiel?
Ever. I never talked to him. The only time was when I caught that Florida catch.
Yeah.
And then like, oh Sam, great catch. You know what I'm saying? but like
His worst moment.
That's what I'm saying, man. So like Javon Walker, Jaywalk's about to go first round a couple years before that, and Jaywalk stands up. His name is Javon. Jaywalk stands up like, hey coach, I want to get the team prayer after the game. So Bobby talks, blah, 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 and then he goes, all right, man, Jason's gonna pray for us. Bro, this is your first round draft pick receiver, right?
Like
and
you
don't
should
know his name. And this is real. And the fans don't want to believe that that's how it was when we were there.
Right.
He was just collecting a check. He hired his son. The son ruined it, calling bullshit plays. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, he was just putting on. We lost to Clemson. We were ranked like number 3 in the nation. We threw that game. Like his son was about to get fired at Clemson. We threw the game, dude.
What?
We threw that game, and I tell people this, and everybody's like, "No, we didn't." I said, "Yes, we
You
did."
said this on record before?
Yes, because it's real.
Wait.
Like his son.
How did y'all came up with an actual plan to formulate to
This
throw
is
the
how I
game,
knew
bro?
we were throwing the game.
All right, tell us how.
We were running hot routes. The hot route for that week in a certain blitz was a slant. They're dropping their D tackles into the slant. So we come to the side like we can't run the fucking slant. They're dropping. Y'all shut the fuck up, Will Coach. You play. Now, before that, let me even go before that. When we got to Clemson, every time you get to a school, you have a walkthrough. You go to the field, you check out the field, you walk around. We had no walkthrough. They dropped the bus off. We were there for an hour because they started having to call kids. Kids went on campus and started just talking to the girls on campus.
Of course.
Yeah.
There was no walkthrough.
RNA.
There was no walkthrough. Next thing you know, they started blowing
that
whistles.
never happens.
Never happened.
Right.
It was already on the media that his son, who was coaching at Clemson, he had lost that game. They're going to fire him, right? So now we get into the game. We haven't gone over our walkthrough. We haven't talked about shit. Then we start saying we can't run this slant because they're dropping. And this is on YouTube, the game. They ended up picking off a slant. Like, we're just throwing this shit right to him. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we end up losing because that was back when there was no playoffs. So what happened is
and just so I can make sure I'm understanding, the Clemson coach was going to get fired if
that's
Florida
his son.
State beat them.
Yeah, that was his son.
Bobby Bowden's son was the head coach at Clemson.
Yes.
And in order to save his own son's job,
on purpose.
we threw the game.
And they signed him a new contract like 2 days later because we were the number 3 or 4 team in the nation. And what was even worse about it is that the number 2, however it played out, somebody got upset that weekend also. So we were going to the national
championship.
This is real. That's why they hate,
my God.
They hate me down there, dude, because I'm just telling the truth. Because that messed up my dreams, right?
Yeah.
I went there to play in a national championship. And there's players who I would never sell somebody. If you tell me something off record, I'll fall on the sword, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There's dudes who would still come up to this day and be like, you said that happened, I didn't believe it, but then I started thinking about it, and you're right, like, because they were young dudes. And then as they got older and they started putting that shit together, like, we weren't supposed to lose to them. Like, no way you lose it. We didn't lose them before, we didn't lose them after.
What type of team did they have, though? Did they have
average at best?
Average at best.
We should have.
You guys was far superior to them.
Absolutely. We had the number 2, I think, ranked D in the nation. The offense, Krafonzo was up for the Blitnikoff. I was running like right behind them with yards. You know what I'm saying? We had Greg Jones, Leon Washington. We were stacked. We had the dog. We were running.
Yeah.
It was low key the greatest Florida State team ever. We had won, but nobody wants. You can't argue that because you lost.
Yeah, you went out. Yeah.
Right. The only team we lost to was one of the greatest Miami teams during that era. So yeah, we lost to Miami. we went out. I think Miami ended up getting upset, and we would have played, I don't know, USC, like the Reggie Bush era. We would have played in the championship.
But then it wasn't the U.S. But like, didn't the Reggie Bush, their whole numbers get like white because of the whole.
Eventually,
yeah, that's crazy. So either way it went,
they won the championship.
They would have won the championship on technicality.
They would have gave us the trophy eventually.
Oh my God, man!
Nobody wants to hear this though, right? So like, I don't know.
That is what.
But this is real because I love football.
You have no reason.
No, not.
I mean, of course not.
What's the point? I'm saying you have no reason to make this shit up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Real. It's for real.
Right.
It's dead ass for real. So anyway,
you stand more of a chance to benefit from not saying it than to say it.
Right.
Because they don't. When I brought it up years ago, the whole social media be like, hey, F you, blah, 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 whatever. You trying to hurt the brand. I'm just telling you the truth, right? Yeah. So, like, if you really want to get into it, and then we'll get into something else. Bobby ended up losing games because of a scandal, which doesn't mean he knew what was going on.
Right.
But the school, when you're the head coach, you're supposed
just
to
like Penn
kind
State
of know.
And all that.
Exactly. So he ends up losing games. And then he put his son in a position to coach at Florida State. He wasn't qualified. Like, looking back, nobody goes from never calling plays to getting a job at Florida State. Yeah. And you never called a play.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't even play in college. You were a walk-on because your dad was a coach, and now you get to call the plays.
That's crazy.
Dude, we used to get in so many arguments. Anquan and them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I won't say it was Quan. Quan more just like laugh because he liked to fucking laugh all the time. But I will say players would be like, hey, JB, you need to go play. Back then it was like the PlayStation night or some shit like the one.
Go play Dreamcast.
Yeah, but they were like, you need to go play NCAA football to learn how to call plays. Yeah. Like the meetings would get real intense because you're fucking with money. You know what I'm saying? Like if I finish with 800 yards compared to 1,200, that might be $2 million, right?
Yes,
because
sir.
you're back there playing around.
Yeah.
Collect money, then you get fired and get $500,000 to go home. We don't get $500,000 when we get cut from the league.
Right.
They just tell you go home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a big dog with some guarantee. So anyway, man.
Yeah, that's bullshit though.
That is.
It was a wild time, man. But that's college in general. I'm not just saying it's him. Every college is gonna find ways. It's a country boy, kind of country club, type of. So if they can help somebody and you think you're going to lose, I think it happens way more. It just happened to be with us, and it sucked because of how the dominoes fell. We would have been in the national championship.
Way more exposure.
Yeah, and the fans ran on the field thanking us. They were getting autographs from us. This is all true, man. It's all on. The fans would come up to us like, hey, man, we appreciate you guys throwing the game. And they were signing, they were getting autographs from us while they tearing down the goalposts. Because it didn't make sense. It just doesn't make, like, when your gut feels bad, like we talked about, that's the whole energy type.
Yeah.
Just something's off about this whole deal. But anyway,
I'm going to tell you why I never argue with someone who calls herself a fan, right? The word fan is short for fanatic, right? So I don't even argue with a fan over anything. Okay, you're a fan of that? Then I can never convince you anything otherwise.
No.
You won't be objective at all.
Vegas probably has something to say about that shit, man. All the
dude, I don't know. I just know it is what it is, man.
Okay, so moving back into like your ending years of you know what I'm saying, like with the Seminoles,
we
right?
got a sweet highlight too.
Sweet highlight, right? So I think that probably is one of the plays, but like you really got notoriety over the catch with Rix, right? Yeah. What does it feel like to have like a highlight catch like that compared to? I mean, you could have caught another catch for the same amount of yardage. Right. What makes it more of a highlight more than
it was just? I don't know if you've already played it for everybody.
No.
It was just,
we can play
obviously Florida is our rival. Basically, we're both top 10. If we hadn't just lost to Clemson, we would have been, like I just said, we had just lost to them like the week before or something like that. So it was just a rivalry, and the way the game went, we should have lost. You know what I'm saying? Like on paper when it got to the fourth quarter, because my boy D-Rob caught a fourth down and 14. Which should have never happened. I don't know what the defense was doing.
Here we go. We about to go ahead and play it, bro.
You should really play the 4th and 14 and then play mine if you have time, because the 4th and 14.
Is it all on here?
I don't know. No, you can just play mine.
Is the clip? We can play it all though. I want to see what you're talking about, so you can take it.
If you type in, you can type in Rix, RIX, and then just put 4th and 14.
So let's do this. Let's go to take a quick break, real quick, a commercial, and then we gonna cue it all up.
Yeah, that's cool.
I want to see all of it, bro.
Bro, you got one.
Yeah, let's do it. Come on, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, you guys, we'll be right back as soon as as soon as I find this clip. I got so many screens going in here. I can't find. There we go. You guys, we'll be right back. It's a little commercial with Tommy Owens. Look, I just made all these shirts for Michael Wright. TL show.
My nephew right here, Big Daddy.
Yes,
Like his daddy.
what we got, bro?
Hey man, what's up?
Yo, what you got, bro?
Man, we got We got these shirts, man. Look at the greenness.
Hold on, pull one out, bro. Pull one out.
Quality shirts.
Yeah.
Not just
Let me see the
shirt.
back.
Quality shirt. What's happening? What's up, guys? Yeah, we doing it right here at the T-shirt, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
man.
didn't know, come and get some of this T-shirt. This is my brother, y'all.
Yeah, man. Look, I just made all these shirts for Michael Wright. TL show.
My nephew right here, Big Daddy. Like his daddy.
What we got, bro?
Hey man, what's up?
Yo, what you got, bro?
Man, we got We got these shirts, man. Look at the greenness.
Hold on, pull one out, bro. Pull one out.
Quality shirts.
Yeah.
Not just
Let me see the
shirt.
back.
Quality shirt. What's happening? What's up, guys? Yeah, we doing it right here at the T-shirt, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
man.
didn't know, come and get some of this T-shirt. This is my brother, y'all.
Yeah, man. Look, I just made all these shirts for Michael Wright. TL show.
My nephew right here, Big Daddy. Like his daddy.
What we got, bro?
Hey man, what's up?
Yo, what you got, bro?
Man, we got these shirts, man. Look at the greenness.
Hold on, pull one out, bro. Pull one out.
Quality shirts.
Yeah.
Not just
Let me see the
shirt.
back.
Quality shirt. What's happening? What's up, guys? Yeah, we doing it right here at the T-shirt, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
man.
didn't know, come and get some of this T-shirt. This is my brother, y'all.
Yeah, man. Look, I just made all these shirts for Michael Wright. TL show.
My nephew right here, Big Daddy. Like his daddy.
What we got, bro?
Hey man, what's up?
Yo, what you got, bro?
Man, we got these shirts, man. Look at the greenness.
Hold on, pull one out, bro. Pull one out.
Quality shirts.
Yeah.
Not just
Let me see the
shirt.
back.
Quality shirt. What's happening? What's up, guys? Yeah, we doing it right here at the T-shirt, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
man.
didn't know, come and get some of this T-shirt. This is my brother, y'all.
Yeah, man. Look, I just made all these shirts for Michael Wright. TL show.
My nephew right here, Big Daddy. Like his daddy.
What we got, bro?
Hey man, what's up?
Yo, what you got, bro? All right, y'all, we back. We about to get got this queued up. You can. So this is, I'm on it, right, y'all? Y'all see it? All right.
So we're gonna let you introduce what we got to watch right now.
Yeah, okay, so it's man, it's 4th and 14. The game, this is the game right here. Obviously, we don't complete it. You'll see me in the slot. I don't even run my route because I didn't want Rix to panic and dump it down to me, and I got to run 12 more yards. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm just like jogging. And my boy just finds a hole, man, and then that sets up. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't get enough credit because I'm the one who scored. But that play.
So do we see the is the other one?
Just go back and then just go back and then go to the top.
Oh shit, I can't even see back.
You press the backspace button on the keyboard.
Nigga, your boy the GOAT.
The GOAT.
King James.
But yeah, so while you're finding it,
yeah, backspace is shit.
we're lining up the next play, and we had already tried it earlier. I was wide open, Rix. It was an overthrow. It wasn't, just a normal overthrow. But go back.
Come on, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, you can go to the one right there.
This is it here too, right?
Yeah. But yeah, man. So it was just a normal. We were supposed to hit it like 15 yards, but Rix rolled out, and like I said, that's why this play, you were asking why it was so important.
Yeah.
Even though it was like like a normal, just 50. It was just the whole build up to it. So the 4th and 14, and then followed by this
Bang.
against your rivals. You know what I'm saying? Like you go down in history.
In the swamp.
Yeah, in the swamp, man. There was a lot of hurt people that night.
How that?
Is this a walk off?
Nah.
This is a game. They ended up getting the ball and trying to. They had like 50 seconds left. But
Dang.
Also, what else is important
Wow.
is that Bobby had like over a decade of 10-win seasons, and then he had 2 that we went 8 and something, 9 and something. And so that was the first time in 3 years we won 10 games again.
Wow.
What a
And that's when he finally called me Sam. Like, at least I got last name. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll take that, man. But
look
yeah,
at this
it was
throw.
just-
He cocked that thing too.
It
Hey.
was a big moment for me as a Georgia guy because that actually put UGA in the SEC championship. So I had some of my boys from UGA calling like,
Thanks, bro.
you just put us on. So it was just that dude Gus, number 9, ended up my roommate in New England. We got drafted together. Awesome dude. I feel bad. Once I met him, I was like, damn, man, because he was an All-American to end your career. With my
So-
goofy ass catching that shit on you.
Let's go. Can
Brutal,
we
man.
go? Can we go in the huddle, bro? So when you guys get
Yeah.
ready to call that play, was that the play call for you just to go deep?
No, that's what I'm saying. So we realized that they were running like a split safety look, but when they saw a crosser, they would rob the crosser, right? So the backside safety would drop down, and so right when I would get to him, I would shoot up the hash, and whatever happened, like Rix rolled out, and just from playing a long time, you start feeling. You look back, you're like, man, the ball, you know what I'm saying? You kind of see them. And so then I just kept going deep. It's just scramble rules. Whoever's the deepest, keep going deep. Somebody kind of go back, somebody go sideways to give him an option to throw it. And I happened to be the dude that went deep, and he let that bitch go. And I was like,
What's it like? Wait. What's it like seeing that ball in the air already? Like, you like this?
I get nervous when I watch it. And it's been 20 years because, I mean, I shouldn't have caught it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're falling backwards. Gus, it just barely went over his arm. It really is, like, it's not a skill. It's just, like, luck was on my side that night.
Wow.
And I appreciate it because he could have knocked it down and been the hero forever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that one catch, you know, as somebody who really loved Florida State from a little boy, I had it tattooed on my arm until I got older and I covered it up. But, to catch it against Florida, man, is like, I don't know. It's like a for real dream. You know, we don't have many moments that you really get to live that little boy dream.
What's better?
That was it.
What's better, catching that same pass at home, or
In the
hearing
swamp.
that
No,
crowd
I think
just
in the
go,
swamp is better.
Hearing that crowd just go
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. I think catching it there would have been is better than if I had caught it at home. You know what I'm saying? Just because you get to be like that hater kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Just like everybody go home.
You play, you play the villain role well.
I mean, that's like 80, you know, minus our fans, you probably had 7,000-8,000 just pissed off people. You know what I'm saying?
Turnstile.
Yeah, right. They just went home fucking just mad.
Right, forever. They still mad forever.
Oh, yeah.
How good was Florida this year?
They were good. They were number 11. They were good. So that was, if they had beat us, they would have gone to their championship, SEC. They would have been a top 10 team. They had a really good defense.
So
man.
yeah, that killed a lot.
A lot of those guys played a long time in the NFL. We really, just to be honest, man, we really had no business winning that game like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like we were in it. We should have won, but like we tricked it off. So like to be able to have that opportunity with a 4th and 14 didn't help. Like that's never supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, like.
I mean, better offense beats the best defense.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes, yeah. So yeah, it was a good. Like I said, growing up as a Georgia kid, always hating Florida, to be able to win like that. I legit like kicked them out of my high school when they came to recruit me. Like I wasn't not like rude. It was just my coach was like, he's not gonna leave class to see y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's a waste of time. And and to be able to, I scored my first touchdown in the swamp as a freshman, and then my last touchdown as a Seminole was in the swamp. So I got to do it. I ended it the same way I started.
Wow.
So those were good moments at Florida State. And, those are the things that even though I kind of wonder how I've been at UGA, you don't regret it because you lived a childhood dream.
Man.
To make a great catch.
A fairy tale ending.
Yeah.
That's hard.
So it all worked out, man. My mom and dad were on the front row behind the bench.
Wow. That's even better,
So
man.
a lot of people, now what does suck, if we had that NIL, I would have made a lot of money that night.
Yeah, we did, man.
Because I made some people some cash. I didn't see none of it. They had CDs going around the bookstore for like a month after that, Christmas gifts.
Wow.
People was
My
buying
face,
and selling your
I was
jersey.
on the cover. Yep, I didn't get any of it.
Damn fat heads and shit.
Probably.
So, I mean,
Yep, I didn't see
I think
it.
you're going into where we were leading, which is the draft, stuff like that. How do you feel about one and dones and of that nature, like kids that leave early, basically?
Well, in
In
football, it's
basketball.
built in. You have to be 3 years.
Okay.
It's the same though. If you are like a for sure lock, because I learned this the hard way, right?
Yeah.
If you're for sure lock, leave, because you never know what's gonna happen that next year, right? What I didn't realize is the financial politics of when you fall in the draft. Because even though I was better than a lot of dudes, and I barely watch the NFL to this day because I'm still salty, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Real talk.
but financially, if I'm paying you $2 million a year, and I'm only paying me $300, for a certain amount of time, I have to try to get my money out of you, right?
Right.
Now, sometimes it flips where just the cheaper guy balls so hard
That he's on the knot.
that you're just like, you know what, we're going to cut the one who's getting more money, whatever. But that usually happens in like, first of all, it wasn't happening with the Patriots. Let me just put it like that.
Right.
Maybe with the Bengals or something like that. The Patriots, because of who the quarterback was, who is the greatest of all time,
There we go.
the reason he is great is because he also needs a comfort zone, right? So he was comfortable with the guys he had. I wasn't going to come in and shake that up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, year 2, I cracked the lineup because he had saw me for a whole year, and then I just got hurt. You know what I'm saying? But I cracked the lineup. Brady and Belichick called me in and had this talk, like what my role was going to be as a starter. And then I get in the camp and get hurt again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so Brady, you have to, like a Julian Edelman. Mm-hmm. Julian was a backup for years, dude, like on practice squad.
Right.
Going to catch balls on the side with him, flying to Cali in the offseason until Brady trusted him. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same with basketball. Like Kobe and them, they're not getting passed to some dude. They don't think he's going to knock down the shot.
Right.
And he trusts. So to answer your question, like a one and done, which is a relevant question, these kids have to understand, like, that might be the last time you ever get to play.
Wow.
So are you really willing to risk that part of it when you could use another year to develop? You know what I'm saying? And definitely in football, because it's such a more physical sport, if you can stick it out one more year and just learn, and that extra year of your body developing can help you a lot. So, but like I say, if you one of the top dudes and they about to give you top 10 money,
Go.
yeah, absolutely. You can online class. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, You could
Man,
go.
I mean,
you
the
could
reason
go.
why you're in school is to get a career in some kind of high-paying job.
Right.
The high-paying job is ready available.
Yeah.
Take it, and it's something that you actually love to do.
Right. Now, what I will say, and I just heard a dude say, E.T. the preacher or something like that. He's like a motivational guy I follow on IG, and he brought up Brady, and he was saying that E.T. has gone to pros and tried to mentor him kind of like in a motivational way, and they don't have a plan. They just got there for the money, the cars, and then that's why it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what happened to me. Like, I was like, oh, I got there. I got money. I bought mom a little. I didn't make a lot, so she got a new Nissan.
Right,
I had my Escalade.
Yeah.
And in year 2, I was like, I'm going to buy my dad a car. But the guys like Brady, they're not there for the money. They're there for a career.
Yeah.
Right? And when you turn it into a job and it's your career, you have a longer vision of where you're going instead of this short goal of just like, oh, I hit this lick real quick. I got jewelry, whatever. And so that's why I try to tell my kids, if you're not the one and done, you can still have a great career. Just get there, ride the bench, dude. Your pride is over. You're in the league. Collect a check for 5 years.
Right.
My oldest wants to be a veterinarian, right? So he's about to shadow a vet this summer, looking at surgery stuff. I said, Trey, you make it to the league, you sign a 5-year deal, you're going to leave with at least $2 million. NIL deals. Go open up your own center.
Right.
You're good. You don't owe anybody overhead. You don't owe nothing.
Right.
Like, the pride is over with. So when you make it to league, swallow your pride, but I would, and just make it a career. So the guys who can stay that extra year and develop mentally, physically, and understand it's a career, they'll be good. You know what I'm saying?
There's also a flip side to that as well, which we talked about a little bit off camera, such as I'm gonna call it what it is. It's the predatory baby mama IG model thing, which Brittany Renner has made it, you know, come to the forefront. But there's always been that. I'm pretty sure they were lining up back when you were in there.
Yeah, it's been
What are ways you think that, like, kids, because to me they're still kids when they're in college,
right?
how should they safeguard themselves from that?
Well, I mean,
besides
the hard,
easy answer.
the easy answer, which is impossible to do. Let's just be real. When you're a young man with beautiful women around, you just got to really, number one, protect yourself, right? But I think, too, if you have a strong circle of friends, they're not going to let you go down that path either. You know what I'm saying? They're going to, smell the one that's trying to get at you in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? But the real thing, and this is the hardest thing for all men to get over, if you could get over looks, right, the shell, and see the inner beauty.
Yeah.
That's usually a girl you grew up with, right? Mm-hmm. Because she knew you before you had anything. She just loved
had this
you.
Conversation today.
She loved you off of just like who you were, just naturally as a person, right?
Right.
And so there's this girl, I won't say her name. She's my son's age. Mm-hmm. And she used to live right behind us. Mm-hmm. And every morning, like 4 years old during the summertime, she would climb up on the fence. Trey! Mm-hmm. We would have to leave the window cracked just to hear her.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, Trey, your friend's out there. And he would go climb the little, because we had those little country, like, whatever they're called, fence. They would just climb over it. And they would play, and the mom would text Nicole. And so she ended up, her parents had money, so they went and bought like this $1 million house, still in Bellbrook. But anyway, she comes every year trick-or-treating just to stop by. Yeah. So my point, though, being long-winded, getting to it, is to prevent that. Like, man, if you could just stop looking at the beauty on the outside and find one of the ones that were trying to ride with you before it all happened, she's going to take care of you because she doesn't want nothing. She just wanted you. Like, all you had was some Legos and, like, some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's when she – so, but that's a hard thing to do, man. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for the younger kids because they're growing up with these IG models. Half of them are fake. It's filters. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. I'm going to have a lot of talks with my sons, but definitely protect yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's your investment. She wasn't in the gym. She wasn't on the field with you. Don't make somebody else's life easy from all your hard work. You know what I'm saying?
Going to New England, had they won? Had they start winning?
Yeah, they
Super
already won
Bowls?
2.
Yeah. They had won 2 already before you got there.
when I got there, what was really cool was right when we got drafted, they were having their ring ceremony. So we didn't get to go to that, but the guys invited the rookies out with them after. So we got to like get a taste of like they had their rings on, and so you know what I'm saying.
You
So
got to see what the championship
yeah,
looked like.
you were like, man, I want that, and then which it rarely ever happens where you win 2 back-to-back, and so I got mine.
Dallas to win consecutive championships. Like,
Yeah.
So when you
It was
got drafted, bro, how was it? I mean,
so my draft,
yeah,
I left early because I was supposed to go second round, right?
Yeah.
And because me being honest and running my mouth, I learned that nobody wants to hear the truth.
right.
And what I tell my sons are, until you have the power, keep your mouth shut. You have no power. So when
Right.
you talk about people in power and you have none, they're going to squash you because they can't let that trickle down, right?
Right.
I learned that the hard way. So I went from second to fifth round. So my draft experience was kind of weird because you thought you were going to get called, and what people think is like the draft is just like every team is going to call you. No, you already know like 4 teams.
Yeah.
So when they don't call and the time is getting, you know you're not going, right? And so
Yeah.
then you might have to wait 10 more slots for the other team. And then if they haven't called before the draft like that comes up, you know they're not calling.
Mm-hmm.
So then you could just tell when you start sliding, you're just like, damn.
Right.
And my slide was crazy because back then there was only 2 days of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I went a whole day of just like
Everybody
waiting.
else's name being
I ended
called.
up going bowling. We went something else.
You had to get your
Still
mind
not
out.
called. And then finally I called my agent like, man, what the? He was like, I don't know. Something happened. Something got out. Like you're a bad apple in the locker room, which I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But what I did was I said something about Florida State.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, wow.
they squashed me, which I get now that I'm older. Like I shouldn't have said anything
Would
that's.
you consider that a legendary mistake?
Oh, absolutely. Because now I understand like that's
Did
the
you say it to the media, bro?
Yeah, so what happened, they were just like, why are you leaving early? I was like, well, every year they say we're going to rebuild, and we just keep losing. I don't want to risk an injury to not go to a national championship. And I knew from the players who were leaving that year, like, we didn't have a chance next year.
Yeah.
And then my boy Crow, who was supposed to be like a first-round pick, broke his leg the last game of the year. Didn't even get drafted, right? He had to come back. So I was just like, man, I'm not going to come back again to go 9-3 or
Right.
something like that. I would just risk it. Shouldn't have said it. What I should have said was, thank you, Florida State, for this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Bowden, you made my dreams come true.
Yeah.
I need to go try to provide for my family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave
Right.
early.
Boom.
That's it.
Boom, I had millions. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But it was just a tough lesson that nobody could teach me because nobody had been through it. So anyway, but the draft, though, as stressful as it was, the Redskins called. I was on the phone with the Redskins. And then my dad, so you have like 2 phones because you have to have one for family, one for. So I had like the house phone for my parents, and then my cell phone was for the league or whatever. And so I'm on the phone with the Redskins, and legit, my dad calls. He's like, hang up right now. The Patriots are calling because the Redskins were trying to make me wait another round. They were like, we're gonna grab you in the 6th.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, but you can't say that. I'm like, okay, thank you. You know,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
And then my dad, I was like, okay, I gotta go. Boom. So I like hang up on the Redskins, and then it's Belichick on the line, and he's like, PK, you know, and like,
Belichick called you,
yeah,
bro?
yeah, the coach calls
With the hoodie on.
Yeah, probably with the sleeves cut, and you know, it was a great moment because as stressful as it is, and you know, you lost like a lot of money, you still accomplished something that.
Yeah, most people.
So many people have not accomplished,
Yeah,
right?
man.
Unfortunately, my little brother, and I always feel bad for him, he didn't get drafted because of the injuries he had. He got picked up a free agent.
Yeah.
So, like, that class of draft picks is just so small, that fraternity. So, yeah, and then that's it. And the crazy part is then all of a sudden they're like, all right, we'll see you in like 2 days. And so that's what's real hard on kids, too, is I'm from the South. I went to school in the South. And then all of a sudden, in 2 days, I got to be up in New England
Yeah.
for like a 4-day weekend of mini camp. And it was just weird. You know what I'm saying? It was cold up there.
When you get drafted, it's time to rock and roll.
Pretty
Ain't no
much,
bullshit.
yeah. Yep.
It's
So
time to
you
go.
you go up there, and it was a whole different world because draft picks or NFL, it doesn't matter if you're drafted or not. You have no power really unless you're like the first round. You know what I'm saying? They can cut you at any time. Where in college, you control everything. I don't want to go to this school. I want to transfer. I want whatever. And you know you have 4 years. And if you do get hurt, you just pull a red shirt. You got 5. But in the league, it's literally like every day. It could be your last. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you fight all these years for this dream, and at any minute, the dream is over. And that was the hard part of the league, not the physical part, the mental of waking up every day, being a low draft pick. Yeah. Being a low draft pick, like literally scraping every day. When you have never had to do it, it's tough. So, like, going back to my kids, we'll purposely, some games, I would have Nicole, when they were playing for the Airmen, I'd be like, bring Trey off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So he learned he wasn't going to start this game. And that shit hurt him. Like, his mom taking him off the bench. And people don't even realize what we're doing. It's because you have to learn both sides. You can't always be the star, because then when you have to come off the bench, you're going to freak out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking all the lessons I've learned. I've started doing it to my kids, playing a game with them mentally to try and make them stronger.
So we had another coach that was on here. I cannot remember when it was. Probably Coach Power, something like that. And he talked about the reason why, you know, like NFL players or track runners from different climates that have, like, you know what I'm saying, like the Floridas of the world, you know what I'm saying, like where the weather is nicer, it's like a hotbed for talent more than places that have it different. How much does the coldness affect you when you're actually in the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's just science. You know, when the colder it gets, the molecules and stuff slow up. So, yeah, I mean, like, you're trying to move and you can't move. I was like, I'm out there like, but the guys,
freezing.
Yeah, the guys who could,
like, you literally freeze,
dude. You feel like you're in slow motion. And the guys that could fight through it, those are the all pros, the Hall of Famers. I just wasn't ready, man. As I got older, I can admit that now. You know what I'm saying? There was so much mentally I wasn't ready for.
Shit, man, out there with them cold.
It was so
balls.
World night.
Shit,
dude, I had never been.
You might have to put a little more air in, or take
Yeah,
a little bit of.
Man, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Listen, we don't slander LeBron. You ain't gonna slander Tom Brady, man.
Hey, man, listen, bro. I'm rooting for Brady.
I'm not
bro.
saying he did it.
Bro.
I don't know that, but I have seen games where it's like.
Here we go. We're going viral.
Yeah. That's just in college though. So like, we were playing Wake Forest and we had a scoop and score, and a dude named Michael Boulware picked the ball up, and he just like, it was like a Nerf ball. You know what I'm saying? So it happens, man.
Yeah,
it happens. I'm not saying he did it, but I'm just saying it happens. Yeah.
Brady didn't do it himself, man, but he ain't the thing about it, like, man, to Brady's credit, man, and to, like, bro, everybody probably try to do whatever they can, bro, to win these games, bro.
Oh, yeah.
This shit's real. Like,
absolutely.
Man,
look, man.
Hey, I tell you this.
Man, taking point. That's a dumbass rule for one. Taking one damn millimeter of air
but
out
it changes a lot. It changes because like that catch that you may not have made because you're cold.
You're making it now.
Squeeze it. So you know what I'm saying? That big hit now it doesn't really matter because you squeeze the ball so hard where it could have popped out.
But I always think
catching them ice block ass balls.
I mean, see, that's a good point. But I always thought
the worst those heavy ice ball.
But to me, I always thought that if it's easier for the offense to catch, it's easier for the defense to catch also.
Yeah, but they're not catching all. I mean, how many if you get 3 interceptions in a year, you had a great year,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You have 3 catches in a game. That's like
some average shit. You're supposed to. That ain't nothing too major.
So.
The offensive, the wide receiver, the one catching the ball. The offense got the advantage.
And I'll tell
taking
you,
the air
when I
out
did
balls,
like finally like get my mind together, and I had gone up to CFL, and that shit gets cold, dude. And we were playing Saskatchewan, and it was probably like 10 degrees, and our team sucked. We only had won 2 games. It's the last game of the year, and we're flying home. And you get paid off a play percentage, so it was 50% of plays. Plus one more play, you get your bonus. And my bonus was like, in Canada, it's not a lot of money. So like $1,000, maybe it was like $1,000 that year. he threw me the ball. My quarterback threw me the ball like the third play of the game or something, and I caught it. And when I got tackled, the ground was so hard. Dude, I purposely got covered for the whole game, the rest of the game. I didn't even care about. I know that's bad.
You got covered on purpose. Like you ran to the
I was
defender.
running. I wasn't trying to get open, dude. I was like, man, this team is trash. I don't want to get hurt. I made it to the off season, and then I ended up getting a like up in Canada. I got a big contract in that off season, but I was ready to go home, man. Like that shit, that it hurt so bad. So those dudes that you see out there like really balling in the cold, man, like they're really
know that they doing some shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because it hurts everywhere. Your skin hurts, your fingers hurt, the head when you hit the ground, it's the worst. When your head hits the ground,
your damn
it's so
skin
bad.
is exposed, your legs and goddamn.
It's bad. You can't breathe, like your lungs are burning.
Bro, y'all gladiators, man.
Y'all
I didn't
are,
even think
bro.
of that, man.
It's bad. It's real bad. That's why.
Sheesh. New
That's why
England.
Brady. That's why Brady picked Tampa as soon as he got out of there.
Right.
Like he loves it. He even admitted. He said now before he plays like a colder team, he's checking the weather because he got so used to the warmth already. That's lovely, man. When it's gonna be 85 and you don't have to stretch that much.
Yeah.
Damn, you
can
know
just
what I
run.
just thought about too? Like you guys having to play up in those cold climates like that. When you finally get a chance to get out of those cold climates, you kind of a little bit rougher and tougher than these teams. That's
the
always,
boys, that's what. Yeah, I tell.
it makes you.
Battle tested.
Yeah,
I
you
tell
like
Nicole
shit.
that all the time because Trey and Juju went out and shot. We got a quick 100 shots up before I came here,
Word.
and it was like 7 a day or something.
Yeah.
And he was out there, and I could see, they're light babies, so I could see his little skin turning red. And I was like, all right, we'll finish with 10 free throws, and he hit his free throws. But the point is like they've played in it for so long that they will be used to it. And then if they go play a game that's like 65, where a kid from the South, that's cold. You know,
Right,
like 55 is cold to him. But to Trey, like he'll just run around. Juju won his championship a couple years ago. He didn't have like long sleeves on. He's just out there. I'm like, man, if I was his age, I would have had a hoodie on, like down south trying to get through it. So
Who's the best player that you ever played against or was a teammate of yours?
Oh, yeah, like a lockdown defender.
Oh man, that's hard. That's hard. So, a lot of people. It sounds like this is just an easy kind of BS answer because he died and he's been in the news lately. But Sean Taylor. He was just like a gladiator type, freak of nature.
Yeah.
Right. And like people can't really appreciate him because unfortunately he died so early, but like the stuff he could do, it allowed Miami to play their type of defense. He just roamed around. And like a lot of men won't admit, like, you know, maybe not scared, right? But you definitely wondering, like, where's Sean? You know what I'm saying? And I've caught one of the worst ones from him. It's on YouTube where he spun me, like, you know. Yeah, Sean Taylor knocked me out when I was in college. You can play that for me. I don't care.
They try to find
But,
it.
like, just him. So, but there's so many dudes, you know what I'm saying? Receiver-wise, which I kind of, you call a hater or whatever, super competitive. There's not many receivers I feel like naturally could do more than me. They may have been a better professional, so they had a better career. But the one dude, Chris Henry's deep ball,
Oh yeah.
but Chad Johnson's ability to like freestyle with his feet were crazy, right? And then, I mean, you could just go, all the legends usually had the same. They have real big hands. They're strong. Larry Fitzgerald. I'm naming people in my era, but like D-Hop right now, he has huge hands, right? Out there. AJ Green, when he was here in his prime, to be his size and move and manipulate his body, you know what I'm saying? Like to track the ball. So you'll see, like, there's a lot of freak athletes. So I can't really name like one, but just one dude who was just like probably the freakish of all those athletes was Sean. You know what I'm saying? Sean, yeah, because he could hit, he could cover.
Is this the video here that I'm on?
Yeah, it's at the top.
The top right here, bro.
Put your name on and everything, man.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me put it on the scene over here. Man, PK, by the way, bro, this is an outstanding interview, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I
man,
appreciate it.
You brought
you know
it, bro.
I'm liking y'all because my Braves are on right now.
All right, yeah, we gonna rap,
I
bro.
had text Nicole like just hit record on the.
But man, like for real, bro, you gotta
enjoying it,
come
man.
through here and just chop it up with us, bro, because you got the inside track to so much stuff that people really want to know, man. You know what I mean?
And you bite your tongue. Man.
Yeah.
No, I'm too old. I don't have nothing to lose, but they can take my little van from me that I'm trying to start my business with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
they probably like yes.
Yeah, right. They're gonna try to find a way. No, man.
Most definitely.
But yeah, the one thing about the league is that you're gonna see freak athletes. You know what I'm saying? But one guy told me the ones who are true professionals are the ones who have the long careers. So, and I was one of those guys, like tall, could run, freak athlete, and then you don't make it just because you didn't handle your business like a pro. So
like, what was it like to? I mean, because in the year that you got your NFL championship, like you were really much like injured, like that most.
Right. Only played like one game and one play.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
So I mean, like, what was it like to still receive your championship?
That's actually a good question because at the time, I got it sized for my dad as a thank you, and he had these. His hands were real big, so I got it sized for him. So it meant a lot because it was like a thank you, you know, for everything he did. So I was at the table. I remember I was like at a table with Brady, which was crazy. Why they put me with Brady? So we all like we're at Robert Kraft's house, and it's this big ass like event. And this band comes out, you know, this big marching band, and then they brought it out on like these platters, and it had your name, like this big nice box, and they handed it out, and then at the same time they were like, you know, kind of like 3, 2, 1, and we all opened it. And I just remember having my dad on the phone when I opened it, and I was like, thank you. And that was before phones were really good at like, so I sent him some like, I don't know, JPEG, whatever file. It was all blurry, and he's like crying on the phone. So actually, years later, I never wore it. I wore it like maybe 3 times, and it would just spin around my finger, and we kept it in like a medicine cabinet. And Nicole was finally like, "Man, you can get us robbed." We had to put it like in a bank or something, and I just went and sold it and just gave it, because I felt like I didn't earn it. Like,
Here we go.
Keep anything.
Wow.
That was not a fumble though. That wasn't no damn fumble.
I think you rolled on shoulders after that hit.
Yeah, man. Look, see, I'm asleep right there.
What?
Nah.
Here we go.
Nah, he got me, man. Well, you always had to make sure you knew where he was. He was big, too. He was like my size, but like 230. Like back then, I was only like 200, 205.
Damn, yeah.
And to be able to run like that. And then it's a youth, so they're down there acting ignorant because they have fun. You gotta love the youth. They're gonna wild out. But yeah, so he was a great player.
Now, I always wonder about that. So when a quarterback throws you the ball over the middle and it's above your shoulder pad, do you look at your quarterback like, man, I'm never going to get that again?
Yeah, that was more my fault. Well, he shouldn't have thrown it, but once it hits your hands,
it's on you at that point.
If you want to be, yeah. So
Is that true, bro? If it hit your hands, you
should
have
try
caught
your
it.
best. Yeah, like I should have caught it. It was just a basic distraction drill. Kelly Jennings waved his hands, and it made me kind of flinch. So then I had to catch it on the backside. And if you get hit on a dig route, if you catch it after like once you get into the other hash. Yeah, you asking for it. So what was worse about that is I could see him coming, because once the ball, like when you've played the game so long, it's almost like you could take different pictures, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I could see him, and I went back to the ball, and so if you notice, I tried to like roll out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what caused the
spin.
But the part that was crazy is just knowing it's coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like sometimes it's better just to get knocked out. But when you see him coming, I was just like,
Right.
But my dad will always say, dude, you might as well try to catch it because you can get hit anyway. So, you know, don't be a bitch. Yeah. So I did my best. But yeah, Sean, that's the whole point back then. You try
I'm
to
gonna read some of these comments, bro, and then we're gonna go get on these Braves, man. See if they can bring home that title for you tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. Because if we don't win tonight, it's a wrap. Houston gonna be partying all tomorrow when they win it.
Yeah, man, we kind of hit on most of the stuff. But yeah, man, bro.
Well, Antoine Cunningham with the Kiara Wine said he salute and love y'all.
Salute, man. Salute, King.
Great stories. Derek Shepard, who went down to Georgia Tech. I don't know if you know Big Shep.
Yeah,
His son is actually going to go to Cincinnati next year.
We follow each other on Facebook.
Yep. Lil Shep's going to Cincinnati. He just said, "What's good, fellas?" And he said that you a legendary legendary person.
Thank you.
And then Marv Graham said, Yep, he said, "Hey man, say that as a parent, coach. I keep my boys working out even if it's just for an hour a day.
Yeah, bro.
It shows when it's game time."
Yeah,
he's an excellent coach, man. I went to school with him, man. Great brother.
Yep. And so that's that, you guys, man. We want to thank everybody for watching our show tonight, and I'm gonna do my little spiel, Peanut to you, and then PK, you could take us out with some good old words of wisdom. You guys, man, for everybody watching this, please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, ring the bell notification so you'll get alerted every time, bro. We at tshirtkings247.com. Gold for your mouth, the #1 gold teeth designers in the world. And Camera Kings Resource. Sell stocks not dope every Sunday. And this is the Legendary People Podcast. Go to Sheikhs for breakfast, Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. Attorney Michael Wright, make the right choice. If you ever get injured, call Attorney Michael Wright, 222-7477. When you want to kick it, unwind with some Kiara Wine. And go to the shoparea.com if you need anything. Native Baby Amazon. All right. And without further ado, hold on. Let me give my observation, bro. First of all, man, big shout out to your parents, bro, for all the sacrifices they did, bro. You know what I mean? They raised a good dude, bro. You know, and one thing that I do like about you, I think that you got another career path and kind of like being yourself, and just telling like it is and how you see things regardless of the politics, man.
Absolutely.
And it's almost refreshing to hear somebody who's not willing to take what I'm deeming as hush money. And you definitely not alone. Bros like you are coming out more and more in droves and kind of like just breaking that chain of command, because it's damn near like a Me Too movement that's not being talked about is the mistreatment of athletes.
Yes.
The down talking, the degradation, the bullshitting, the throwing games for your own personal purpose, but like, nah, bro, we didn't sign up for this.
Right.
And had I went out there and threw a game, so let's say that so your brother could get to the NFL, you would be looked at as somebody who threw a game. And when you do that shit in America, according to their code, that's damn near the worst thing that you can do.
Yeah.
It's completely unacceptable. And just because somebody who is a legend did it, it doesn't excuse it from happening. And everybody should be just as frustrated with them as they are with you for exposing this shit that happens, man. Right. You know, and I appreciate you having the courage to come on and even build on that shit. Like, that's a very viral clip for us. Yeah. Like, real shit. But the thing about it is, it's refreshing to hear that, and I would love to listen to you more.
Absolutely.
You know, just because we're not towing the line with this bullshit, man, and going along with all of that bullshit just because of a chance to kiss some ass that maybe Florida State might give you something later. You're like, nah, I'm gonna do this shit on my own, bro. I got my own business, and that's major. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's
I appreciate
it's king stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
All day, bro. I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh yeah, no, thank you
for coming on, bro, and validating us as a TV show, bro. We getting more major than a podcast. And that's just my take. P,
and I'll be
what you got, King?
My butterfly effect. Well, the butterfly effect is something I found during the course of my research on you, or something you said during the course of the interview that I found truly amazing. One thing I didn't see, like when I do my research, is how intertwined you are with how your father was. I mean, like, you say, what I'm saying, he has a different approach. Y'all kind of good cop, bad cop when it comes to raising it, but it's still working. I mean, you've seen the dividends coming in with your son. I mean, your son is already headed in the right direction. One thing that I love about that the most is, I mean, like you said, like right before you came here, you out there shooting ball with, you know what I'm saying, like getting him right. It's the same way he helped you, like in your regard. Those seeds are going to benefit him in the future. He'll have a solid base on how he should be as a man. That's going to benefit him way later than, you know what I'm saying, like this podcast is mainly about, us cataloging and archiving your life so the next person can, you know what I'm saying, move this way or move a different way. I think a lot of things should happen, such as the truth should be out when it comes to these institutions that are housing our children and they're using them for their own benefit. And I think you can be the pillar of that. I mean, we have the Kwame Browns of the world who blew up off them telling their stories. I feel your story is just as powerful as that because, I mean, like you are an NFL champion that went through your own type of tribulation or whatever that comes with that. Yeah. But with that, like our man Tony Ruby says, you got some skin in the game, and that's something they can't take from you. Like I said before, don't put too much real estate in fans because fan is short for fanatic, baby. Oh, so, man, you are definitely a legend, bro. We appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate it.
All day.
No, I appreciate you guys. Anytime, if you want to do like a little sports segment.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, boy, I can do a weekly.
Man, yes.
Whatever, we can figure that out.
That's what we were talking about.
I just want to just leave two kind of, one's a quote, one's just like a question, like a food for thought.
Yeah.
That a high school coach told me. So at Buford, they had never won anything, right? Mm-hmm. Like in the 70s, it didn't count one time because that wasn't our lifetime. Now they've won, dude, it's been, I think, like, I graduated 20 years ago, and they've won like 12 or 13 state championships.
Wow.
Right?
Damn, bro.
It's just a factory. But one of the things we said, the quote was, if you want something you've never had, you must do something you've never done, right? And so the last thing and he wasn't even the head coach then. He ended up a head coach. He's in the league now coaching. He said, what are you going to do in your lifetime that in 100 years after your death, people will still talk about you, right? And 99% of us will never reach that, right? But it's just a goal to always keep in your head.
Right.
To always try to do something that's because we get caught up. Yeah. It's no offense to you. You know, you have your T-shirt. We had the podcast. I have my football stuff. The boys have sports. But somebody else, when you're gone, is going to sell T-shirts, right? Yeah. Somebody else is going to hoop. Somebody's going to play football. What can we do that's going to change the world so much that 100 years after you die, they're still talking about you? And you know what? If everybody kind of has that, I think it'll make the world a better place, right? Like, because you're really trying to do something positive. That's gonna
100% agree.
Can
bro.
keep you going. So, hey, for real, anytime y'all want to open this sports thing up, hit me up.
Man,
yes,
I gotta get to these Braves. I do love y'all.
Yeah,
I wanted to
bro.
throw back Hank Aaron to try to bring
love that too. That's hard.
some luck. So, you know how to find me.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Man,
Bro,
Just hit me
man,
up, man.
thank you,
Hit me
bro.
up. Yes,
Go
sir.
Braves, man. Go
All right,
Braves,
y'all, man. Go Braves, man. Go Jeff Mims, man. Win that.
Yeah. I voted today. I made sure I went out there and voted, bro, for the guy.
Yeah, man. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, Jeff Mims.
Legendary People Podcast. Legendary